Welcome to the Nitpicking Nerds and another secret deck.
Going over gold cards this time, multicolored.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, BZ, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. We have more secret tech coming at you. If you like it, subscribe. If you really like it, check out the Discord. And if you want to be a patron or sub with extra perks in there, you can go be a patron. And you get actual stuff in the mail, too.
Yep. So helping right into it. Secret tech. Gold. So we're going to be talking about cards that are multicolored. More than one colored if you don't know what multi means. But for some weird reason, but you still watch Magic videos.
Yeah, multi is actually a prefix.
Yes, meaning multiple.
Yeah, well, these are cards that don't appear when you go to EDH Rec and you hit top cards and then you hit multicolor. So there's 400 plus options that come up for multicolored cards. None of them are here. You literally can't find these on EDH Rec unless you search for them directly.
That's false. You can find any of these in EDH Recs because they have all cards in there. But first card, we have Altar of Bone. It's in 654 decks. It's a 1%er, and it actually is $11.27. We have to have one expensive card on here.
Not even the most expensive.
Ooh.
I got you.
Green and a white for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this card, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature, put it in your hand.
This can just be Diabolic Intent, but it's green-white.
Yeah, it's for a creature, so when you're in heavy creature decks, it really matters. If you want to sacrifice creatures in your green-white deck, it's even better. So, I mean, this card just has it's weird.
It's good.
Yeah, it is. It's just a good tutor, and it's just doesn't see much play. I don't think people know this card exists.
Yeah, Abzan Aristocrats, like token decks, you just get your best token maker, sacrifice a token. Maybe people just don't know about it, so that's literally exactly what these videos are for.
Yeah, they're for secret tech.
Underplayed, undervalued, underrepresented cards.
Yeah, you did. Under the table.
No, this is legit operation. Next is recent printing, Yorion Sky Nomad, 3 Azorius Hybrid for a 4/5 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, you can flicker any number of non-land permanents you own and control until the end step, then they come back. This probably is in so few decks. It's in 1,285 and 1%er. It's also $1. Probably in so few decks because people say, oh, I can't play it as a companion. But it's also just a really good card.
This card is super solid. Probably the best companion within a deck. It's pretty insane what it does. It flickers non-land permanents, so it's anything. You get to flicker like enchantments that have ETBs, or I mean, obviously creatures. Everyone knows creatures, artifacts that have ETBs. Any non-land permanent, you can reset planeswalkers with this.
Well, also you can do tricks like Charming Prince or Flicker Wisp, and then have your board state like phase in and out every other turn.
Yeah,
and like dodge board wipes. It's really cool.
It dodges board wipes, but also gets you tons of extra ETBs.
Right. So if it's your turn, and you play it and you flicker Wisp, then it comes back. Now, until that whole next player's turn, you don't have a board except for a Flicker Wisp. And then the next player's turn, you have a board except Flicker Wisp. And then you have a board except with just Flicker Wisp.
Yeah, back and forth forever, ad nauseum.
I mean, forever. It's once a turn.
Ad nauseum.
The game's never going to end.
Ad nauseum.
Okay, that's Yorion. Good card. It's a one-time Brago. Nothing really flickers as many things for this much mana.
I mean, it's just 5 mana flicker everything you want to flicker on your side.
And is flickerable, so yes. Enough said.
Yeah, exactly, because it's an ETB. Next, we have Basilica Haunt. It's in 541 decks. It's a 1%er, and it costs 14 cents.
Wow.
White, black for a 3/4 spirit. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, and each opponent discards a card.
This is a nice little flicker target if you're going to try to get things back over and over. It was an all-star in our Athreos Shroud Veil deck where it adds 4 devotion and just comes back over and over with that card.
This card is super strong. I mean, making everyone discard on an ETB is really strong, especially when you add in Relevant Body, and extra gaining 3 life just feels really good. Like, that makes it so much better. The Relevant Body makes it so much better than, like, per se, like Chittering Rats, like or something.
Burglar Rat.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it better than that because this has such a relevant body in comparison. And devotion, there's just life gain is not irrelevant.
No, it's totally, it just feels tacked on, free, like you just feel good casting this card. Only 541.
Yeah.
We've both tested this and played against it. It feels pretty annoying. If they're going to spam it, then it demands an answer.
Yes, it does 100% demand an answer. Awesome card. Next, Fracturing Gust. 2 Selesnya Hybrid, obviously, because it has 3 Cerulean hybrids. For a instant, destroy all artifacts and all enchantments. You gain 2 for each one destroyed this way. It's in 478 decks, 0%er, and it's $1.61.
Tack down life gain, you say, except this time you're going to gain like 12 or 14 life. Your deck needs to not be worse by throwing an instant in over like Bane of Progress, and your deck needs to not have a ton of artifacts and enchantments. If you meet those criteria, this card's amazing.
I mean, if you care about, say you're playing like green-white life gain type deck, which does exist, you just get to gain all the extra life and get the board wipe in there, which is just awesome.
Well, you got to make sure you're not blowing up all your own stuff.
Well, yeah,
if you blow up 1 or 2 things, it's not that end of the world. It's still like a 12 for 1.
Well, you're in like a green-white deck, so like think about that. When you're in green-white, you don't have to rely on those artifacts and enchantments a super amount, especially not for ramp.
I mean, how about like Bant Control? If you're a Bant Control deck, you just hold this up and it does everything you want. You don't have many permanents that are not lands anyway.
I don't know if it does everything you want. Does it win me the game?
Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Dang. This guy's way better than I thought.
That's what it says. If you're playing Bant Control, you just win.
Okay. Sweet card. Remember to cast your Fracturing Gust so you win the game.
Yeah. Next, Shadow of Doubt. I love this card so much. Dimir Hybrid, instant. Players can't search libraries this turn. Draw a card. Only 695 decks. Disrespectful. 1%, but it's $4.
I don't know why this card is $4. Probably because it hasn't been reprinted since original Ravnica.
And it's awesome. You can just totally shut somebody off. Yeah, but mess up their whole turn.
Nobody's playing it, so where is it worth money?
Certainly nobody's playing it now that Agent of Opposition is around. That's so much flashier, but I love this card.
Opposition Agent and Ashiok both do that job.
You can just play Dimir, no search.
Dimir, no search. We'll just, and then play Marin to really get him.
Marilyn,
the Morning Song, yeah.
Morning Song?
Whatever her name is.
Don't try to say anything more aspects of it.
She's an Alfie.
Oh, no. Shadow Doubts, you need to have a flex slot where you can play, like, I think it's a really good filler cantrip. You can completely destroy somebody, and if not, you just cantrip it.
You're going to counter a spell most of the time with this card. Often. Just like with any of these anti-search things. They tend to counter one spell, but what makes the other ones better, what makes this one work is that if you care about spells, it draws a card. So it replaces itself right away. The other ones come with bodies, and they tend to last and stay out. That's the difference here. So if you care about spells over the body that you're going to get, play this one.
Well, there's the added wrinkle of this doesn't put a target on your back and go, oh my god, he's got the best creature in play now, we have to kill it. It's just, well, you got owned, and now you have to move on with your life.
But when you play Ava Midas, no one goes, he has the best creature in play.
Like Notion Thief and stupid Hull Breacher and Agent, they're all going to get huge targets, the ones that stick around.
Yeah.
Versus like, all right, got you, and you're like, you.
No, they'd be way more annoying.
They'll be mad, but there's nothing they can do about it.
They won't go you.
They'll like attack you or something.
You, I'm going to kill
you. Next, what is it?
It's Invert. It's in 1,078 decks, 1%er, and it's only 8 cents.
Cheapest card on the list.
There are 2 sides to the spell. The first one is Invert, which is a hybrid. Switch the power and toughness up to 2 target creatures until end of turn. That's not that big. But the other side's pretty cool. It's 4 blue-red. Search library for an instant and or sorcery. Reveal them, then put them into your hand. Shuffle your library. And that's an instant. So you can do this one at instant speed. That's what I like about this card. I love that you get to hold it up with other interaction, and then at the end of the turn, just go and get 2 of your best spells out of your deck. If you're playing a Storm type deck, or you want to play at instant speed, I like this card a lot.
I'm kind of low on it. I don't know. It seems maybe if we're talking budget, or you have some actual use for Invert, but it's not really a split card if you're never going to invert. Also, fun fact, they for some reason misprinted, so all of the copies of Invert says switch the power and toughnesses of 2 target creatures.
Yeah,
they had to errata it. Yeah, it's the end of turn.
Yeah, they did have to change that. I do remember that. I mean, it does have another side. It's going to be applicable at some point. It's not never. It kills walls.
It does kill walls.
Boom.
You have the Izzet deck. What do you care about walls?
You
don't even attack.
They're so annoying.
Oh, that Wall of Omens. That's really messing my day up.
Oh man, with annoying. Like if you play against the door in the Siege Tower deck, get this in.
Wow.
You're gonna annoy the crap out of them.
Yes, you are, and they're gonna be like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?"
It's a 2 for 1.
Oh my god.
Gotcha.
Well, if you're, niche case, your commander cares about power and toughness, and you're an Izzet, you can play Invent, and tutor up some cards. And in budget, I think it's totally fine.
You could totally give Iko Shadiki a big old attack.
It's a good tutor for budget, if nothing else. Number 7. I don't know. That was out of context. We haven't numbered any of these. Dax Duplicate. 2,400 Dex, 2%, and $2.61. It is 2 blue-red for a 0/0. It enters the battlefield as a copy of any creature, but it has Dethrone, which means if it attacks the player with the highest life total, gets a counter, and most importantly, haste.
Yeah, it's a hasty clone. I mean, this is a super strong clone, comes down, attacks right away. Things like Titans that have attack triggers. Basically, anything that cares about attacking right away, this card just comes down and is that. If your deck cares about attacking right away, comes down, attacks right away.
Wow. Yes. I think the main pull to this clone over other clones is that you can... Obviously, the ability to clone any ETB is still there. It's the same for every clone that's ever existed. But this one removes a lot of the tension of cloning a giant threat that doesn't do anything right away and then saying, all right, now I'm attacking with it. This thing is doing whatever it's about to do right now, as opposed to like, oh, I'll take your combat damage, your creature that says when it hits. Well, all right, it's probably not going to make it around, and the board's going to be super different. But if you can take it, get the bonus right away, and it's still sitting there, sweet.
Yeah, so and like you said, it has all the advantages of clone. It's a cheaper version of the best creature on the field usually. It's always the best creature in the field. It's whatever you need it to be. And those advantages are always nice. And add in the haste, add in the Dethrone. The Dethrone's gravy. That's all that
Couldn't
is.
be gravier. I don't care about that.
Couldn't be gravier.
Totally. All right, this is like one of our favorite Planeswalkers. I was stunned to realize it wasn't even on the top, 400-ish multicolor cards. It's Doretti, Ingenious Iconoclast. 1 black-red for 3 loyalty Planeswalker. +1. Make a 1/1 artifact construct token with Defender. -1. You sacrifice an artifact and you destroy a creature or artifact. And then -6. You choose an artifact in play or in a graveyard and you make 3 tokens that are copies of it. It is in 1,600 decks, 2% of decks it can be in, and $13.50, new most expensive.
Because the Planeswalker, people love Planeswalkers. It protects itself, which is super important for Planeswalkers. Puts out those little dorky 1/1, what are they?
Constructs.
Yeah, I knew they were something strange. Puts them down, and then if it comes back to you, it also sacrifices them. If you have extra artifacts laying around that you want to sacrifice anyway, this card's great. It is a versatile removal spell that comes to protect itself. And if it ults, it's really annoying.
I've played this card a lot. I have a Marchesa deck it went in. It is better than it looks. We talk about Planeswalkers die too soon, but this just comes down and just destroys something. All right, you just 1-for-1.
Yeah,
and someone attacked it.
And you get the upside of Planeswalker on an empty board means this goes plus, and it's making little 1/1s that can just block and protect it.
It's only 3 mana. You can just jam this on turn 2 or 3. And it's going to get up to 5 loyalty-ish.
Turn 3 or 4 is probably a safer bet if you don't have a Soul Ring.
2 or 3 is optimistic. 3 is easy.
Well, yeah, the 3 is hitting your land drops. 2 is a little rough. You do have to have a Soul Ring pretty much, or a Mana Crypt.
I guess in the Queen Marchesa deck, I put this on turn 2 way more often than turn 4, because that's the Marchesa turn.
Yeah, you don't want to you don't want to miss your Marchesa turn. Next, we have Fulminator Mage. 1 Rakdos hybrid for a 2/2. Sacrifice Fulminator Mage. Destroy target non-basic land. It's in 584 decks. It's a 1%er, and it's $1.50, which is a shock to me because this card was like $20 a couple years ago.
It was $30 for the longest time, and I couldn't ever get them for my Modern sideboard. But now, of course, that I don't play Modern, get them for $1.50, baby.
Yeah, they're cheap as can be now.
You don't like this card as much as I do.
I don't. Why don't you say why you like it then?
Yeah, this is my invert invent, I guess. I like the political value of having a creature that says, if you're going to mess with me, I'm just going to blow up one of your lands. Like, I'm not going to do it otherwise. Come at me, you're just going to lose a land. And then see how you feel after that. Also, if you want to play like a Mardu thing, it does come back with a bunch of different stuff. There's Sun Titan, there's Savine's Reclamation, there's all these things that can recur creatures. So if this is one of your like toolbox annoying creatures, I think it's totally sweet.
I think, yeah, but my issue with it is it's a Stone Rain, and Stone Rains aren't very good in EDH at all.
If you're just using it as a Stone Rain, I wouldn't do it. You want to either get tangible political value out of it or be able to recur it, and then it's multiple Stone Rains.
Yeah, I mean, it can be multiple stories. It can be that, and there is sometimes political. I feel like this is all niche, and that on its face value, it is still Stone Rain.
Kind of. It's the fact that it's a creature makes it better than Stone Rain, but it's still like, don't just play it as Stone Rain. How about that?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I'm saying that Stone Rain is completely unplayable. This is slightly more playable. In
Your
my
deck
head.
needs to make it better. As soon as you do, I think it's a pretty good card. Next is a card I like even more because it's just it's a Golgari uncommon. Molder Hulk, 7 black-green for a 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, you return a land from your graveyard to the battlefield, so it comes in untap, and it costs 1 less for each creature in your graveyard. So this could be a 2-mana 6/6. It is in 1,200 decks, 1%, and it's only a quarter.
Yeah, I mean, this is a budget card. If I've ever seen a budget card, this is it. This is the budgetest of all budget cards.
I think it's totally fine. If you're in a deck that's not like EDH crazy stuff, I don't mind this at all. It, realistically, if you're even in the middle, it's like a 4-mana 6/6 that ramps your best land. So if you're filling your graveyard, it kind of does a weird tutor impression of get the best land that you milled just right into play, so you can use it right away.
Yeah, card's totally fine. I'm just saying, I feel like this is one where it's like as you start really tuning your deck, you lose this card very quickly.
It's like a slam dunk budget card, and then as you go up, it falls off.
Yeah, but nothing wrong with that. It's weird. I've never played this card before, other than in limited.
Yeah, I have a slightly less powerful deck. It's super fun to play.
Yeah, that's fair. Next up
is probably the least secret card on the secret deck, but we're going to talk about it because it's not on the EDH Rec top cards. Knight of the Reliquary, 1 white-green for a 2/2, gets +1/+1 for each land card in your graveyard, and you can tap and sacrifice a forest or a plains, search your library for any land, and just put it right into play. It's in 2,500 decks, 3% like we said, and it's $2.62.
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking about this. I've been less impressed with this card as I play it. It's good, very strong, and belongs in a lot of decks. But I actually think I just cut this one from my Omnath deck because I wasn't impressed with it, the way it was playing.
There are other options. Crop Rotation comes to mind, and the 1-drop version, but it costs mana to activate. Elvish Reclaimer. They're pretty similar. I think I like this better than Elvish Reclaimer. I don't know. It's definitely a rock solid card. If you have a land you're trying to get more of, and you're in green-white, I would just recommend it.
Yeah, I think one of the main reasons I cut it from my deck was you have to have plains and forests to sacrifice, and the deck was low on those.
That's probably the main reason. You're playing 4-color Omnath, to be fair. It wasn't like you were in a green-white deck.
Yeah, it was not.
So you can maybe do some, there's like untapped shenanigans you can do. Just the fact that you're tutoring lands. Field of the Dead is the best land ever and should be tutored for at all times.
Well, I tutor for it all the time using Promise of Hour of Promise. Promise of Hour.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're a green-white land deck and you didn't know this card existed, it is pretty old. So hopefully now you know something.
Yeah, it's from Alara. It's like 10 years old at this point.
Oh, man. 2009, now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's 11 years old.
Whee! What's the last entry?
Last entry is Renegade Rallier, which actually has the same exact mana cost as Knight of the Reliquary, which is 1, a green, and a white. It is a 3/2, and it has Revolt. When it enters the battlefield, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, Renegade Rallier returns a permanent from the graveyard to the battlefield with CMC 2 or less. It is in 1,500 decks. It's a 1%er. 25 cents / 64 cents?
64 cents if you want that promo.
Oh, I'm like, why did you list that?
I recommend the regular foil over the promo. I think the promo foil is a trap. It doesn't look very good.
Oh, okay, fair enough. This card's super good. It actually combos with Safi Eriksdottir. Like, just those two cards just go off.
This is an actual combo piece. It also works on Animate Dead. If you want to Animate Dead something else, they can then reanimate this and just go crazy with it. I think this card is like really good, and I was only looking for it in the top cards just to be thorough. I didn't expect it to not show up there. Secretly, this is like a $300 card. Once you have fetch lands, this just always at least ramps you a card.
Yep.
Ramps you a land.
Yeah, once you're in fetch lands, this is really good. It's like you said, it just ramps super easily. It combos, it gets back stuff. This card is very versatile in what it does. It has a very Sun Titan-esque effect.
Right.
It doesn't get it when it attacks, but it also combos pretty sweetly.
Yeah, and I was leaning away from. I have a competitive deck. This is just one of the combo pieces, and you just caught Sun Titan because Sun Titan is too much mana.
Yeah, Sun Titan 6 mana. This is not 6 mana, and like you said, literally only need Safi Eriksdottir. Those two cards just go infinite. And if you have a payoff,
well, you need like Sack Outlet and like Blood Artist, but all this stuff just comes out naturally.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we're talking about Aristocrat deck. You're right. You do need those. You do need those things that you have 7 of in your Aristocrat deck.
Right, but just to frame things for you.
Yes, correct.
And I don't know. Basically, any deck that wants a creature in green and white and has access to fetch lands, which there are plenty of budget ones. Even throw out a Myriad Landscape. This is great.
Oh yeah. Also that combo, if you for the payoff and second color, if you have Blasting Station, it does both.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, Blasting Station is both sides of that, so that's a 3-card combo.
And Safi can potentially be your commander.
Yeah, I mean, if Safi's your commander, you're gonna get.
That's just nonsense.
No one's gonna stop, or everyone's going to stop you because it's very obvious what you're doing.
They're gonna try. That's the list, though.
Yeah, that is all the cards on this list. Special shoutouts to all of our patrons. Love you all as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. Obviously. What was that?
Is this where it is?
Oh, it's somewhere. It's somewhere in this area. They certainly are scrolling by right now. What other shoutouts do we have?
TCG Player. Link in the description. We're going to link to these 12 bad boy secret texts. Sorry we couldn't get to ones of every color combination. I don't think that's as valuable as just talking about the best ones that we could find, though. So go to the link, buy what you want, order through the link specifically, and we get a kickback on the order, and you help support the channel while not spending any additional money on said channel. Anything else? No? Tidbit?
Nope. Yeah, I don't think we have any more shoutouts. We're working on. We did hit our 100 patron goal. I guess that's something.
Ooh, what does that mean?
That means that we're working on our game show, Chance for Glory, which is, as said before, a game show where we're gonna do trivia, Magic stuff, lots of games. We brainstormed ideas in the Discord the other day, actually. So join that if you want to help us brainstorm. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting. What?
We're working on special guests.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not going to be our friends this time. Maybe we will actually have one down the road with our friends back in it, because I like having them on the channel. But starting, we're going for like celebrities. So I guess if you're still watching, let us know who you would like to see. Mm-hmm. If we get enough requests, we'll just DM them. And what kind of games you expect. Like, oh, you have to do this. This is a really cool idea. And we might listen to it.
Yeah, tell them they have to listen to it.
No promises. We had some issues when people were recommending games the other day.
Yeah, we had to explain that what we wanted, and then they still gave us a couple ideas that were confusing me. Like, I explained that we wanted it to have a direct answer, and then I immediately got pitched an idea that was like, what about board states? I'm like, what? No. Direct answer. It needs to have a yes or no answer, basically.
Or an answerable by like one word.
Yeah, exactly. The card name is the answer. That works. I can't have you look at a board state and tell me if it's lethal or not.
That's just too slow.
That's super hard. It's also super complex.
But yeah, so let us know, and that's the video. We have to.
You don't do that.
Sign off.
That's not it.
I was filling the dead air.
We never do that. Peace out, Tribe Scout.
I hate it.